So hello everyone again. It's Dr. Niikee here. For those of you I haven't met before, if you are wondering anything about my background or what I do, you can check out my website. It's vitalitytime.com.au and it's got all sorts of information on there. And you can contact me through there as well if I can give you a hand with anything. And so today's talk, I'm going to be talking about the body, so the physical, and how we can support our physical structure to be able to do what it does naturally, and that is heal. So our body has the innate capacity in the right environment to heal. That's what it does. Our cells are constantly regenerating as long as they have all of the nutrients they need and also a good balance of other key chemical mediators, which I'll talk a little bit more about as we get there, things like inflammation, and then also the energetics, which we're going to talk more about in the coming days. So there's 5 key, really simple things that we can actually do that can help us to support our body in the best way possible. And, you know, one thing that I've noticed over my 20 years of being a clinician in healthcare is that no matter what is happening with somebody on the physical level and often the mental and emotional level as well, just by cleaning up the diet and lifestyle with these 5 simple things, a whole myriad of issues can literally just vanish as the body is supported to go back into the harmony, which is our natural and true state of being. So the first one, 5 and 2. I'm sure you've all heard of that before, particularly if you're in Australia. You know, that's been a major public health campaign now for decades. So 5 and 2 serves of fruit and vegetables. So 2 serves of fruit each day, which can be, you know, a serve is 1 piece of fruit, say like a banana, an apple, an orange, or, you know, if you're looking at smaller fruit like plums or apricots and things like that, then it's 2 would be 1 particular serve. Now, with our vegetables, so serving sizes for vegetables, so 5 serves a day of different vegetables is encouraged. Now, that might sound like a lot, but if you're actually focusing on it in your normal daily food consumption, it's really not that difficult because 1 serve is only half a cup. And a cup size is only 250 mils or a teacup, which isn't like these big mugs and things that we use these days. It's teacup size. So half a cup of vegetables is 1 serve. Or if you're thinking about salad greens, which are lighter and fluffier, it's 1 cup to a serve. So, you know, if we were eating a salad or a vegetable soup, say for lunch or dinner, and then the other meal having that with vegetables, even having vegetables with breakfast. I mean, my main coin term is always think where you can have more vegetables no matter what, no matter what you're eating. But it's really not that difficult if you have that in the front of your mind to be eating your 5 serves of vegetables each day. And I actually used to say to clients as well, I used to give them the 2-week challenge. So for 2 weeks, eat as much vegetables as possible, and then you will know what I'm talking about. Because the vegetables are so nutrient dense, and a variety of vegetables have so many of what we call our micronutrients, which are the vitamins and minerals that our body needs to function. And they're called essential nutrients because the body doesn't make them, and they are essential for us to be consuming in the diet. And so we need all of these nutrients so our body can actually work properly. So all of the enzymes in the body need vitamins and minerals as their cofactors. We need vitamins and minerals to make energy, to make blood, to make hormones, to, you know, to support everything that the body does. We need these cofactors, which are vitamins and minerals, which are found very widely in plant-based foods. So nuts and seeds are another one I'll get onto when we talk about healthy fat balance, which is next. But, you know, basically eating a variety of fruit and vegetables is going to give you a lot of those micronutrients that you need each day. And also fibre. So fibre, you know, it almost needs its own food group because not only does it help to remove waste out of the body, it also helps to decrease cholesterol levels And it also feeds our microbiome, so our healthy gut bugs. There's this big, fad with people just popping probiotics all the time, the tablets, but in reality, those microbes cannot survive unless we're eating fibre in the diet. And, unfortunately, processed food removes that fibre because bacteria eats it, and so it prolongs shelf life. So food that lasts for long periods of time in the supermarket literally has had the fibre removed, so the bugs don't eat it. And unfortunately, then that fibre is not feeding our bugs as well. So it's really important that we're getting high fibre food. So, a way that, probably the best way that you can get fibre in the diet is legumes. So beans, lentils, peas, things like that, like your chickpeas, like hummus. So hummus is, it should have a food group too, for all the other beneficial nutrients that are in that as well. Fibre, whole grains, so consuming whole grains. If you are having any cereals, making sure that it's got the bran still attached to it for fibre, and also the germ part of it, because that's where all the nutrients are. Once our grains have been processed, it takes off all the fibre and then takes off the germ, which is all of the nutrients, and you're just left with pure carbohydrate and protein. And, so that's no micronutrients at all. So from that perspective, it's not serving to support our body to do its bodily functions that it needs to do as well. What else? The important thing with the microbiome is that it produces anti-inflammatories. And so when we think about all chronic disease is driven by inflammation, and our modern day lifestyle with stress and running around and, not supporting our bodies and toxins and pollution and all of that can spark inflammation. And now there's two ways that we can support our body to produce anti-inflammatories all on its own so that it can help to keep this inflammation regulated. Water, number 3, we'll get to that. So the first is to feed the microbiome. So fibre and a healthy microbiome is going to produce anti-inflammatories. So there's a whole barrage of research that's been going on the last half a dozen years looking at the beneficial properties of these anti-inflammatories that are produced by this microbiome. And why we're finding, all this research now showing the benefits of actually consuming things like probiotics and prebiotics. So prebiotics is just a term that we use for fibre. So all prebiotics are fibres, but not all fibres are prebiotics. But in essence, it's how we feed the microbiome that's really important. Number 2, so that's number 1. Number 2 is essential fatty acid balance. So making sure that we're balancing the good and the, not so good fats in the diet. So a balance of animal fat and plant-based fatty acids is really important. And, a lot of the time, unfortunately, when people are taking things like grains and, carbohydrates and all of this out of the diet, they're starting to overconsume animal protein. And in the long term is actually driving chronic disease because of it's throwing out this balance within the body of being able to regulate inflammation. And so how we can help, the other way that we can help regulate inflammation in the body is through having a balance of plant-based fats, so our good oils, along with the saturated types of fats that we find in all animal products. Now, you would have heard of as well, I'm sure, when we break down the plant fats, there's omega-6 and omega-3s. So omega-6 fatty acids produce inflammation at a cellular level. So all of our cells in the body, the membranes, are comprised of these omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. And so the omega-6s produce inflammation because it helps to protect the cells. It helps the cells to regenerate. So inflammation is actually really important, but we also need to have a balance of omega-3s in the cell membranes to bring that back into balance. So when the omega-6 inflammatory cascade is stimulated, we need the omega-3s to go, that's enough now, your job's done, come back into balance. And so when the cells are working properly, they do that really nicely. So that's the second way that we can support our body to produce anti-inflammatories, or at least to regulate that level of inflammation. Because when we're looking at foods that contain these omega-3 fatty acids, a lot of people don't eat them in the diet. And so these fats are called essential because they're not made by the body either. We actually need to be consuming these essential fats, so our omega-6 and omega-3 fats in the diet, to be able to regulate inflammation at a cellular level. Number 3, sorry, I didn't want to keep you too long. So number 3, water. Making sure that we're drinking enough water, depending on our water losses as well. So if it's hot weather, it's not just through sweating, we can be evaporating water off if it's hot on the outside as well, which is why you'll probably find you're more thirsty in the hot weather, which is your body saying you need more water. So please listen to that, listen to your body when it's telling you things. Caffeine and alcohol, unfortunately, are not included in that category because they are diuretics, so they stimulate water loss from the body. So, things like herbal teas can come under water, water, of course, and other fluids that aren't diuretics. If you are eating largely a plant-based diet, you're getting quite a lot of fluid from that as well. So you may need an extra anywhere between, 1 to 2 litres, depending again what your level of activity, the temperature, and how many other sort of liquids or water you're getting through your daily consumption. If you scroll down on this Facebook page, I've actually got heaps of recipes for things on how you can make lots of nice things out of water so it doesn't taste as boring as water, and there's heaps of other recipes too, using these whole foods and lots of fibers and things like that. I've also got a recipe compendium. It's an online compendium where I often update, and I add a lot of different interesting articles, just short articles and bits and pieces about health and nutrition to try and help people along with that as well. I'll pop in the comments a link to that, so if you're interested in getting on board with that, you can get access to all of that information from me as well. Okay, number 4, activity. So doing some type of activity. And so I call it activity rather than exercise, because exercise can have negative connotations for people. So, activity can literally be that. And it's really good to be able to think about what you enjoy to do and then how you can bring that more into your life, because you're going to get the benefit of that activity, but then you're also going to get the benefit of having some R&R, some work-life balance when you're getting to enjoy yourself as well. So the minimum recommendations from our government and the health organisations are 30 minutes most days. Now, if you're somebody that hasn't exercised or done much activity in your life, that doesn't mean you need to get a gym membership and start running on the treadmill. It doesn't mean that at all. Something as simple as starting to walk up and down your street is amazing, and that's a really great place to start. Now, if you're somebody that does a lot of activity, of course, that's not really going to be an issue. So, regulating that level of activity based on, what your capacity is absolutely perfect. And, just doing simple walking each day. There's things you can do like take the stairs when you're at work, take a bus stop earlier or later. Include your family, go for walks after meals. There's lots of ways and there's lots of ideas around the place on how we can start to bring some more activity into life. And, that's another thing that you are going to notice the difference in how you feel. If you change any of these things in your diet and lifestyle, you're going to feel a massive difference in a relatively short time as well. And, so I often say, start with what's easy for you to do so you can start to feel the benefits, and then, move on to things that, that you might find a little bit challenging. But, no matter what you do, just start somewhere and give it a go, because it really will. It's going to make such a difference to your long-term health outcomes, but also your short-term health and how you're feeling as well. All right, number 5, the lucky number 5, we're actually going to be covering more tomorrow, and that's being aware of your thoughts. Your thoughts and your actions, how you're affecting others in your environment, and also how you're affecting yourself. Like a lot that I'm seeing with clients as well is, you know, they may not outwardly be affecting other people in their environment or in their families or work life or anything like that, but by holding on to things and constantly being in challenge with your own mind because you're not actually addressing things, is creating energetic disharmony. And when there's energetic disharmony, it becomes to cause physical disharmony in the body as well, particularly over time. So we're going to delve into that more tomorrow when we look at the mind and emotions. Okay, so if anyone has any questions, please post them. I'm more than happy to help out wherever I can. Other than that, I better let you go. I've rambled on a little bit long today, but anyway, I hope that you all enjoyed it and you can get something out of it. Have a great day. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow midday. Okay, bye.